Japanese is sick of English voice actors. Sorry, I couldn't almost say that for a minute. It's like stuttering. From my understanding, again, I haven't watched this video. I always like to go in there raw. But there has been some drama. There has been some drama over artist and more or less skin color. It's always something. Always something to do with fucking race. I'm telling you.
So a few days ago, we were talking about this art of Okarun and Momo, which is now collected over...
Which, by the way, question. Is this... Okay, I don't watch anime. I know. VTuber, anime, whatever. But, is this from... What the hell is it? Is it Dandara? Is that how you say that? It's Dandara, no? Okay, so is that... Wait, hold on a minute. Is that how you say that? Okay, I was about to say, I've never watched it. Any good? Then again, I haven't watched anime in a minute. I think the closest thing that I've watched in a very long time was probably Arcane, but I don't know. Chat, okay, off topic. Do you see Arcane and Arcane 2 as an anime? I don't know. I feel like not really. But then again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. No, see, that's what I was saying. Okay, so if that's the case, the last anime that I actually watched was probably, oh yeah, that's right, Cyberpunk, the Edgerunners. And that was because last year we played Cyberpunk for the very first time. It was really good, actually. Really good. But anyway, my thought process on this, if you want to know how I feel about all this, again, like, I understand that some people get very sensitive about, like, race and everything else, but, like, I'm gonna be real with you. I could care fucking less. Like, draw things the way you want to. Do whatever the fuck you want to. I don't give a fuck about culture. I don't give a fuck about whatever. The only thing that I care about is when somebody says, I fixed it. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, listen, draw whatever. Hell, listen, and let me give you like an example. If you want to draw me in different outfits, different skin colors, like, I don't care. Draw me any way you want. I always just say this, don't draw me like racial stuff or like doing something crazy. Like, such as, like, you know, baby stuff or whatever. Because, you know, as a mom, I don't really like that kind of shit. But point I'm trying to make is, listen, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, and again, maybe this is just some Twitter, like, brain rot, but it's just a drawing. Pixels. Who gives a fuck? That's how I see it. I just don't like it whenever people say, oh, I fixed it, I did this. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You don't get a ribbon. You don't get a fucking ribbon.
90,000 likes. However, many people in Japan are not happy with this art. For example, this tweet with over 70,000 likes. Once again, it reads, there are still many racists who say that changing the race of a Japanese character is not discrimination. And as such, you can see from the quotes, they say it's a great drawing because the character is not Japanese.
That's what I don't like. Because again, people are going to get mad. I think it's so fucking silly. But once people are like, oh, I like it more because of this. And I'm just like, really? Like, come on now. It is brain rot Twitter users. I hate it. Like, it is an art piece. It's when people get like that. That's when I'm like, oh my fucking God.
If you point this out, you'll be
I know,
called a
fucking
racist.
Twitter freaks.
Their IQ is too low to even understand what discrimination is. There was also this response getting over, they say
Here,
it's a
hold on
great
one
drawing.
second. Gotta briefly turn it up. But I brought this up in another video. Stop. Everyone's first thing that they always get on people with, it's always some kind of argument, it's race. Like, shut the fuck up. I am so tired of that shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Are there racists out there? Yeah, there always will be. But like, why is that always the go-to? And it's for both sides. Stop it. You guys are acting like fucking babies. You're acting like fucking babies.
because the character is not Japanese. If you point this out, you'll be called a racist. Their IQ is too low to even understand what discrimination is. There was also this response getting over 370,000 likes, reading simply, "Yo, I'm Japanese. Stop making Asian characters black. We're not Disney characters."
Don't care. Again, but here's the thing. Reverse Uno card. People like this are getting mad also, first off, because they have like Twitter brain rot, but also it's the people that are making it are saying, hey, I fixed it, or hey, this is way better because of this. It's like, shut the fuck up. They just love drama. That's what it is. That's what it is. I hate that shit. I'm just like, relax, relax, relax.
In the responses to that post, I saw...
Oh, wait, by the way, don't say fuck... Wait, hold on a minute. Caster, are you here? Don't at me. Don't at me. We will fucking get there eventually. We will get there. Eventually. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Some people very confused.
If anyone
by the
doesn't know,
Disney
we started
comment.
playing
So for
soccer
anyone
and we
confused,
haven't like
they're likely
finished.
referring to how Disney has race swapped characters. Anyways, there was then this tweet that I also showed in the prior video where this Japanese user says,
oh, you know what? Actually, hold on. I want you to listen to this again.
So for anyone confused, they're likely referring to how Disney has race swapped characters.
You can do that if you want to. However, this is my thought process when it comes to changing race and stuff like that, especially for like the Disney stuff. If it brings nothing new to the table, don't do it. Like, don't do it. Like, if there's like a different story or something that you want to do with it, sure, whatever. But at the same time, don't do it just to pander. Don't do it just to pander. Nobody likes to get pandered to. And if you do, you're such a pussy. Like, come on now. Like, don't you want someone to be real? Don't you want someone to be like, hey, if your shit stinks, your shit stinks. Like, I hate that shit. I hate it. It's like, hey, if I'm doing something wrong or something where I'm like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Like, someone tell me something. And again, someone might tell me something and it's actually fucking stupid, but at least you're saying something. Like, don't be a pussy. Just say something.
Anyways, there was then this tweet that I also showed in the prior video where this Japanese user says, I'll put it back and post Okarun and Momo. I believe when I showed that tweet in my prior video, it had a few hundred likes. Well, since then, it's gotten over 210,000 likes.
211 brain rot. Brain rot peeps. Isn't that crazy? Wow.
As well as this
No,
response
I'm
to
kidding.
it.
Not every person is there, but a good majority. I'm going to be real with you. A good fucking majority.
69,000 likes reading, when Akawa Bukubu Sensei drew Ida from Splatoon 2, he had a slightly... Since then, it's gotten over 210,000 likes.
Not making fun of this. I just want him to say it again. I just want to. I just want him to say it again.
As well as this response to it, with 69,000 likes reading, when Akawa Bukubu Sensei...
Akawanka Kuba. Did I say that? Akawaba Kuba. Is that how you say it? Akawaka Kuba. I like that. I like it. It's again, not a bad thing, but what a name. I had a friend growing up. His last name was Shifadeka. That's a long ass fucking name. That is a long ass fucking name. Oh my god.
He drew Ida from Splatoon 2. He had a slightly lighter skin tone, so everyone made a big fuss about it being racist, but then they're happily making Japanese characters black and justifying it. Their double standards are ridiculous.
You're ridiculous. Everyone's ridiculous. Again, if somebody is putting their energy and time... Okay, do you remember that video that we watched where people are like, oh, I'm gonna put my energy in something that doesn't fucking matter? Both ends. Let me just say this. I am not taking a side in any fucking way. Because at the end of the day, they're fighting over a fucking art piece. An art piece. Think about that. Take a step back. Take a step back. Look at it. What are we arguing about? Exactly. And if you still can't see it, loca la cabeza. You're stupid with a capital R.
Which one is discriminatory? So they're citing that Splatoon situation that I've talked about a few times on this channel, where the creator of Pop Team Epic had made this Marina art and then received...
By the way, I love her. I love her. I love her so fucking much.
A tremendous amount of insults from people on Twitter, including this tweet, which was like basically sending him a death threat. As I say every time,
I'm dogging. Okay, you know what? This video is going to be me dogging on people the whole time. Because if you're going to send a death threat over, say with me, an art piece, loca la cabeza.
of course, they would argue that
Loca
it's
la
just a joke or
cabeza,
something, but
estúpidas
that never
pendejo.
detracts from how pathetic it is. The artist had even made this response saying, regarding the content of this fan art, I received a response that this was racism against black people because the character's skin is depicted as lighter than in the original work. I also believe that if Ida were human, he would be black.
Before I start going, chat, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Wait, really, mister? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Interesting. Well, listen, if they're starting to cause issues, fuck them. Fuck them. I don't care enough. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I see it because, again, I'm in this sphere. I see all this stuff and I'm like, what is this? What is this? Yeah, I don't know. It's art. It's art. You know, just let people draw what they want. Again, like, I understand some people are like, yeah, but the culture, but this and this. I'm like, yeah, but that quote unquote cultured character can't even speak. It's not real. They're not real. They're not real. And of course, they always go for race every single time. And here's the crazy part. It doesn't matter what it is. Oh, model. Oh, there it is. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's art pieces or some kind of problem. It's like, so race. You know what I think it is? Of course, I think someone in chat just said it right now. It's like race baiting, which is strange. Again, something I've been learning over the last 3.5 years of doing this is people will do anything to get noticed for clout or for whatever. And I'm just like, why? Even people that don't stream, because some people will do it just so, you know, just so that they can have more people fucking come over to the stream, which, by the way, if you are trying to do that, no one's coming over to your stream. About 90, I'm going to be real with you, about 98% of people that come in from like Twitter and stuff like that, it's like a very small amount that you should do. Very small. Also, thank you so much for the Prime. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, so it's stupid. Twitter pays for engagement. You can get paid on... Huh. Yeah, I really don't know anything. See, I'm not a streamer. I don't know what the fuck I'm even doing. Okay, that's cool. Also, Jerry, I love that. Calm down, son. It's just a drawing. It's just a drawing. No way. Huh. Even worse, getting paid to be a stupid ass pendejo. Hijo de la madre.
Sorry, my
what does
coloring
this
skills
world
are
come
poor,
to?
so it's not accurate. Of course, this is a very talented and successful artist, and his coloring skills are certainly not poor. Regardless, he felt the need to make that tweet and apologize to the mob. And for many years, Japanese artists would get harassed on
Don't ever apologize.
Twitter, and many of them would apologize or delete the artwork, etc., etc. But it seems like also over the years, more and more Japanese...
If you feel a certain way... Now, here's the thing. Not saying that you can't, like, you know, change your mind, learn, etc., etc. But a lot of people will still feel the same way and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you're not sorry. You are not sorry. You know, you are not sorry. You're just saying that just to keep peace. It's like, shut your dumb ass up. Shut up. The race swapping as far as movies and art, I can just not care about being done. See, my thing is this, and I was talking about it with the whole like Disney thing. Do whatever the fuck you want. A lot of times they're live actions that cock anyway. However, if you want my personal opinion, unless for some reason you're gonna like, it's innovative, it changes it, like, you know, being creative, maybe even doing a different story with something very similar. Sure, go ahead. But really, all people do that stuff for, especially for like the Disney stuff, God, I fucking hate Disney nowadays especially, is that they're pandering. Like, and guess what? The crazy part is this. Pander, and it doesn't even work. It doesn't even work. Like, I still remember, okay, there's this South Park, what was it? It's a South Park, like, episode. And, what was it? I think Cartman was being, Oh, actually, it was talking about, like, the Disney thing. It was saying, like, hey... Throw a girl in there and make her gay. Just with everything. And I'm just like, you know what? That is how things are nowadays. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but it's funny to me. It is fucking hilarious. And I'm just like, you know what? That is 1000% what is going on. It's stupid. It's stupid.
These people,
yeah, I was saying he was supposed to be the stand-in for the CEO for Disney.
Standards. So it seems like lately we're seeing more and more of them push back. Now return to the Okarun and Momo art situation. Things.
Oh, gay and lame. Gay and lame. You know, I haven't seen South Park in like fucking forever, but I think they're still so fucking funny.
Ended up getting crazier because the English voice actor for Okarun decided to get involved, changing his profile pic on Twitter to that art of Okarun and saying "This is fire" and thanking the artist. And indeed, in his bio, we can see it says he, him, voice actor Dan Okarun. And
I know the reason why. The only reason why he did like, hey, thanks, man, is because he wanted to be like, hey, you know what? I'm all for this. So fuck anyone that says that I can't do this. And don't get me wrong, you can like what you like. Like, I could care less. But it's always these people that have to be like, this is better this way. You know, fuck the Asian version or vice versa. I'm just like, why? Why? Also, again, I could care less how you see yourself. Like I said, I have friends from all around the block. But, and I remember Aslan saying this. And he's like one of my favorite content creators. But he's 100% correct. Anytime that I see someone really causing problems, you go onto their bio and they always have their pronouns. Again, I have a lot of friends that are they, thems, or trans, or like somewhere in the middle. But like I've noticed for Twitter, especially for fucking like Twitter, it's always the pronouns. It's almost as if like they're giving them a bad name. It's almost as if like they're giving them a bad fucking name. And you know what? I feel bad. I feel bad because there are probably people that have said pronouns for each end, and they're probably getting like just, you know, just like face just smashed inside the dirt. Like, do you ever watch what is it, the Broly movie? And Goku gets like his face slammed in the fucking rock. Like, pretty much that's what's happening. And I'm just like, God, that fucking blows. That fucking sucks. Because, again, it's always the loudest, stupid-ass motherfuckers that make it so they give a bad name for everybody. So they give a bad name for everybody. But I feel like a good majority of people that are, I guess, LGBTQ stuff, like, you know, they're pretty normal, including myself, right? Right? Kind of normal, kind of. About as normal as I can get for a Latina.
In another tweet, we can get further context, as here we see the voice actress Anaris Q changing her profile pic to that art of Momo, and going on to say, new profile pic, had to couple profile pic with AJ Beckles VO, and going on to credit the artist. AJ's response saying had to complete the pair with my girl, and his tweet getting 39,000 likes. However, you may have noticed that in some of those screenshots, AJ's profile pic is no longer that art of Okarun, as it seems like within 24 hours or less.
By the way, sorry. So I'm watching the Stalker like playthrough, and let me tell you, I didn't drop nothing. I fucking grabbed everything and sold it all. Just saying, you're doing it wrong. He also, Living, I got you right after this, okay?
A tweet explaining that, saying, my profile pic is now a fan drawing based off me doing a silly Okarun pose. An Afro-Latino man, which I think is pretty cool. I hope you guys like it. Although that tweet was later changed to instead say, my profile pic is now a fan drawing based off me, an Afro-Latino man. I hope you guys like it.
The only reason why he changed it, because he was probably getting backlash. And again, if you actually learn something, you're like, oh, okay, like I can see the error of like my ways, then I can understand that you change your mind. I mean, people do that, believe it or not. But you damn well know that this person learned nothing. He's just backpedaling because people got angry at him. If you believe in something, fuck everybody else. They can go suck a fat cock. Just how it is. Wanna know why? Because when you backpedal, they're going to be mad at you. When you even fucking breathe, they're going to be mad at you. I'm telling you, people will find a way to be mad. So you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them, fuck them, and fuck them.
As of recording, Anaris' profile pic is still Momo. And we can get more context on roles that she's played in her bio that reads, voice of Mirko.
Again, I'm trying not to be that person. But at the same time, I'm like, Jesus. For anyone that does the pronoun stuff, I feel bad for you. Especially for people that are fucking normal. Hi Phil, how are you doing?
My Hero Academia, Lynette Genshin, Fei Xiao Honkai Star Rail, Nessa Pokemon, Kimberly, Street Fighter 6, JJK, Dora, and she/they.
Also, something else that I noticed, Aslan says this shit too, and it makes you fucking laugh, is like, they'll have like every fucking flag to like, I'm just like, I don't know what kind of statement you're trying to do, but that's kind of a lot. That's kind of a lot.
In her pinned tweet, also providing context to her role in Dandadan, saying that she's the English voice of
It's Dandaran. That's how you say it. I think I might have said it wrong earlier.
Muko. As for AJ Beckles, you'll have to come to your own conclusion as to why you think he changed his profile pic so swiftly. Maybe
Being a fucking pussy.
he decided that he was not helping the situation, thinking he was fanning the flames or something like that, and therefore decided to change his profile pic and not get further involved. However, there were also some other things that happened. Once again, come to your own conclusion, but here's the rest of the information. In the responses to his tweet about changing his profile picture, we can see a number of tweets like these.
I just, Let me just remind everyone that we are talking about an art piece. Still. We are still talking about an art piece. Something that's not even alive.
This one, for example, saying, as a black guy myself, I stand with Japan when I say some of y'all need to be stopped. And posting a few images of prior tweets that AJ had made. These reading, every time there is a black actor cast in a role in fantasy where the source material version is lighter skin, someone always has something to say about it. So tiring. It doesn't affect the character whatsoever. It's okay.
But why change in the first place? If there was nothing wrong with it, why change it? Again, it was one of those things where I was like, listen, if you have a different story that you want to do something creative, something that kind of blends into like the culture with that, go for it. But like, great example, Disney changes stuff all the time, not because it changes the story or because it does anything with culture or anything else. It's for pandering. That's all it is. You're like, hi, okay, you want to know what it reminds me of? It's like, see, we're with you, fellow kids. Like, hey, I got you. See, we're with you, friend. It's like, shut your dumb ass up. Great example, like whenever Overwatch, I still remember when Overwatch got in trouble for what was it? It was that chart because they want to hit every diverse, like was every diversity? They wanted to hit every diversity, mainly to pander to every single person. And I'm just like, oh my God. Not because they felt creative with this, because they were doing a checklist. Checklist. Nobody wants to be a checklist.
And the other one reading, the reason white people in most cases shouldn't be playing POC isn't a matter of color. It's culture. Speaking for black people, we know what a barbershop sounds like on Sundays, what a hot comb smells like when it's going through our hair. It's not the color, it's the culture.
Again, this is true. There are different cultures for different stuff. But at the same time, we're talking about literally just changing a color just to change it. Not to change like the story or how things are like said and done. It's just the same thing. So I don't understand the point. It's like, I understand what you're saying. I get it. Trust me. Like I said, my daughter was black and so was my son. And that's my thing. So I understand the culture. Listen, and as a Latina and also like a Brit, we have different cultures. But what does that have to do with the story? What does that have to do with all this? That is what I mean. Is that like, hey, what is the reasoning? Why? What was wrong with the other one? It's just stuff like that. Like, again, talk about culture, but it doesn't change the story. So what's the point? You know, what's the point? There is none.
And so, as mentioned, many people in the responses and even elsewhere on the internet began sharing those various tweets of AJ's. However, the situation also proliferated back over in Japan too, as we would then have this tweet from Shin responding to that prior tweet that AJ made where he talked about changing his profile pic to that altered version of Okarun. Shin going on to say this and getting over 17,000 likes. Please spread the word. This is a declaration by the overseas voice actors that they support, quote, the racism that disrespects the original work by turning characters black and excluding Japanese people, unquote. Change the icon image of the X account to, quote, a Japanese exclusion blackening hate image, unquote.
let's just say this. Let's just say this. Instead of saying that, they're like, hey, I don't care what kind of like style you want to do things or whatever, change your culture, do all that stuff, whatever. But here's the thing. Like if the said person, I what is his name? AJ, if he's just doing this more or less, like sorry, hold on, it irritates me because I'm just like, really? We're talking about a fucking art piece. I guess what irritates me, because like I think AJ was saying this too and everything, was that when people say, hey, I fixed it, you didn't fix anything. All you're doing is saying like, ha, this is much better. Fuck you guys. But at the same time though, opposite way, it's like the same thing, like, how dare you do this? It's like, who cares? Who cares? It's just when people are trying to taunt people and it's going back and forth, it irritates me because I'm just like, we're fighting over an art piece. Again, something that's not real. Like, listen, I don't know if that's a fucking hot take or not, but I think both sides are really fucking stupid. They're really fucking stupid.
It expressed blasphemy against the original work and discrimination against Japanese people. This is an international issue. Officially.
International issue. It's like, red alert. And I'm just thinking to myself like, wow, an international issue I had was when I was deployed to the desert. There was a lot of actual issues going on there. But hey, listen, the art piece though, let me tell you.
Please remove this voice actor from his role immediately. Some of the responses to Shin's tweet including, y'all single-handedly managed to red pill Japan just by being obnoxious.
Well, here's the thing though. When people do stuff like that, when people do, again, from AJ's side of things, it makes it so people from across the land don't like us. And you know what? They have every right to, because they're like, why are you doing that? It's because you're literally just trying to bait people. You're trying to cause problems, thus making it so that they don't like us. They don't like you. They don't like your race, which again, it's unfortunate because you're like, really, again, we're supposed to be very diverse. Humans are supposed to be so diverse. We're supposed to be so complex. And yet so many people are just one note. It's really sad. It's really sad.
Conversely, however, this tweet
because we're fighting over an art piece. Did I mention that yet? No, probably not.
To be upset by Shin's tweet saying, the Japanese nerds are starting to get on my nerves.
The Japanese
nerds. And this response from Zero Dozer talking about localization issues as well, saying now the Japanese know what the localization industry thinks of them. My suggestion? Make a move to get these losers out of their jobs. People both in the West and East are sick of these racist psychopaths.
I do think that these people are out of fucking line. At the same time, does one lose their job for this? It's not professional. It's not professional, but at the same time, chat, I kind of want to know. What do you think? It's not a professional thing, but it's not like they're like trying to kill somebody. Exactly. Both of them are trying to fucking cause issues. And the issue that I have a lot when it comes to this is that not only do people get mad, but then here comes the death threats. Then here comes like, I want you to fucking die. I want you to lose your job. Like people get crazy. And I'm just like, settle down, son. It's just a drawing. Who said that earlier? I love that. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Is it shouldn't get fired, but both sides are taking it too far. Absolutely. Like, again, if for some reason, again, I don't know this person. I could care less. I can care less. You do you. If you want to cause problems all day on the fucking internet, go for it. If anything, I'm going to keep laughing at you. But here's the thing. When they're voice acting a character and starting to cause issues, that can be a problem. And it might make it so that other people that usually hire you for your voice acting may not want to because you are a loose cannon. Like, because for me personally, that would be non-professional. That would not be professional. Would not be professional. And stuff like that to me is important because, again, if we're trying to make a business, I like to have somebody that's a little bit more stable. So again, it's a brand risk. Exactly. So it's not saying that I'm like, oh, I want you to die and I want you to lose your job and stuff. But as somebody that would be hiring somebody like that, I would definitely take a minute to be like, do we want this person again? That is important. That is important. Because if you don't think about that, then they may have more and more issues. Because I think I saw, it was something very similar, like maybe like a few months ago. But the voice actress, I think it was a girl, I can't remember. She was saying like, oh, well, I did this and this, so I'm good. Like more or less she thought like, oh, because I've done all of this, I'm safe. It's like, no, you can get fired whenever you want. Or whenever you want. Whenever they want. So it's like, hey, like just because you think that you've done a lot of stuff doesn't mean jack shit. Doesn't mean jack fucking shit, in my personal opinion.
Over on our Kotaku in action,
like I said, you're not
a top
safe.
post would get made saying, Ken Takakura, Dandadan, English VA supports blackwashing art, also thinks white VAs can't voice POC, but not vice versa. English voice actor again exposed.
I think if you, I could care less if you're voice acting like, if you are like white or Asian and you're trying to voice act like Hispanic, black, if you're doing it good, I don't care. Again, some people are like, I can't believe that, but like if they do the job correctly and the way that the artist wants, sure, why not? Sure. I could care less. It is literally a problem that is nothing. It is a nothing burger. It is a fucking nothing burger. Wait a minute. Oh, really? He voiced Samurai Jack. Oh, wait, actually, great example. Who was the person that voiced Kratos? Kratos. Because he is also black. He did a really good job. He did a really good fucking job. So yeah, it doesn't matter. If you do the job correctly, who gives a flying fuck? Who gives a flying fuck?
Using racism and hypocrisy, again showing we need
some
to clean
people,
house.
because I know for a fact that some people are like, they get mad if it's like, again, a white person and it's like a black person like voicing them, or vice versa. I'm just like, who cares? Like, again, the artist has like a vision of what they want, and if you're hitting the mark, like, who cares? Again, great example with the Kratos thing. I cannot think of anyone else I would want to voice Kratos. None. He's just so good.
Voice acting industry. And going on to post the tweets that we took a look at earlier, just for a refresher, the ones where AJ had said, every time there's a black actor cast in a role in fantasy where the source material version is lighter skinned, someone always has something to say about it. So tiring.
Because it doesn't... Because again, unless it changes the plot, especially if it's something like originally supposed to be like, hey, like great example, like Pocahontas is Native American. If you put somebody in there that's like white or black, and again, at the end of the day, I could care less. Hey, listen, do whatever you want, make it a freaking like a baboon, orangutan, a freaking giraffe. I could care less. But like, I'd like it in a creative sense. I'd like it for the story to be different. Because if not, maybe just make a different story. I don't know. Like an alien talking about mind freaking people. How dare you? Joking. But yeah, point I'm trying to make is that like, hey, you need to really just look at what you're doing, and you have to ask yourself, am I doing this because I feel like this is going to really change the story, or you're just pandering? Change the story for something better? Awesome. Pandering? You're a cunt. It's just that simple. Don't be a cunt.
It doesn't affect the character whatsoever. It's okay. And the reason white people, in most cases, shouldn't be playing POC
and again,
isn't a
sorry, I'm thinking about it. And again, doesn't really fucking matter. I could care less. Do it. If anything, Disney does it a lot. But if you're wondering why, like, oh my God, I wonder why this didn't do well. I wonder. No pandering. Also, not to mention, like, a lot of the times the story's just done, like, terribly. It was just, like, really, like, piss poor. Very piss poor.
Matter of color. It's culture. Speaking for black people, we know what a barbershop sounds like on Sundays, what a hot comb smells like when it's going through our hair. It's not the color, it's the culture.
Oh, by the way, I understand what he's trying to say, too. But I also hate when people all, like, speaks for everybody. Like, again, like a Hispanic could like say something and I'm like, no, I don't do that. I don't do that. Listen, I'm a Hispanic Brit, so we do something a little different. So don't be like all Hispanics or this and this. Like, I understand where he's coming from, and like there's a lot of things that I do that is still kind of stereotypic, more or less. But at the same time though, I'm like, bitch, I don't know you. You are not the speaker for me. All right, like for you. All right, for you.
Getting top responses such as, imagine a white person saying all this.
Who cares? I understand people like to do that too. They're like, good example. You know how okay, listen, you've seen it before where it's like, let's just say a woman says something wild and then someone underneath will be like, well, if a man said this, I'm like, don't get me wrong. I understand. And yes, people go fucking crazy with her. Should it be like that? Fuck no. Should it be like that? Fuck no. But at the same time though, it's like, don't be trying to talk to fucking like Twitter freaks. Twitter fucking freaks. They have not left their house in 2 years. They haven't left their room in 2 weeks. They have not showered. They still have fungus underneath their nutsack. Like, you don't want to talk to them. You don't want to talk to them.
Lose their job, receive death
They
threats to them and
stink,
their
they
family.
smell, and everyone hates them. In the sense of their disappointments. Their disappointments.
And would probably be blacklisted from the industry for good. Satirically, someone says, excuse me, sir, I noticed you inadvertently use offensive terminology blacklisted in your post.
Actually, shut up.
We don't use white/black to refer to good or bad.
Actually. I'm pushing my fucking glasses, you fucking nerd.
Anymore. It's 2024, chud. And another saying,
wait,
what
hold on a
freaking
minute.
racist thing to say.
What is
You
it?
Inadvertently.
What does chud mean? Is that a bad word? I've never heard that before. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that one before. Nothing? Oh, wait, is it supposed to be bad? You guys can tell me later. You guys can tell me later. Chud is from an old movie. Oh, you want to know something just off topic? So my mom was actually watching, I'm trying to remember exactly what movie that it was. It was an older one. And I think the guy said, look at this broad. I haven't heard broad in like a minute. I was like, broad, huh? I do like that actually.
Use offensive terminology blacklisted in your post. We don't use white/black to refer to good or bad anymore. It's 2024, chud.
Chud.
And another saying, what a frickin' racist thing to say.
Shut up. Fuck you in the race thing. It's irritating, isn't it? Like anyone that has done social medias or done this, like it's always the first thing to like, are you a racist? Are you a Nazi? That one we hear a lot. That one you hear a lot. You're like, are you a Nazi? And I'm like, oh my God, you guys don't even know what the fucking Nazi is? Go back to history class. Go back to history class, please.
Black people have the same culture and experience.
Completely
unquote.
different. Last I checked, they're not putting you in a concentration camp. Just saying.
Yes, of whites have no culture. And speaking for black people,
I hate when
who the
people
heck
do
made
that.
You king of the blacks. And this.
Why do white people get fucking shit on so much? I mean, listen, I'm white, or partly. I just think that's not cool. It's not cool to like knock on anybody. Like, stop. Like, listen, I know you hate your fucking life, but like, chill. But chill. Listen, can't you just like yell at your mom? Because I know you're fucking yelling at her because she didn't get any fucking Pop-Tarts today. You fat fuck.
This one saying, he changed his profile pic to a fan art of himself. I guess his agency told him to shut up. And that cycles me back to what I said earlier in the video about coming to your own conclusion here. Why do you think he changed his profile pic back and
You
so
already
fast?
know.
Do you think it was out of like some good character development? Like,
I think he says this stuff for the video, right? Like, has to be like, what do you think? It's like, you already know. You already know. Stop lying to me.
maybe he was like, you know
Stop
what?
lying to me.
This is not good. Like, I'm making a mess out of the situation. So he changed it back. Or maybe it really is like his agent.
If somebody didn't like what I said, you know what I would say? I said what I said. I said what I said.
See, telling him to shut up. Although that does seem kind of unlikely. A lot of these English voice acting companies seem like they would support the tweets that AJ made, if anything. Maybe it was the whole thing causing people to look into the history of what he's posted and not wanting all that attention. Or maybe it was the tweet going on in Japan where people are calling for him to lose his job.
Because all of that is bad press. And again, regardless of if you're trying to like get a new job right now or like whatever, that looks bad. That looks bad. You have your name underneath this anime or whatever for your like voice acting stuff. And if this person's going off like the rails, I'm like, hey, like, remember, business. People don't know anymore about being professional, about doing these, like, time and a fucking place. Like, before you do something, how about use your fucking brain? I know it's been years, but how about you use your fucking brain? Like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Listen, rub those two fucking brain cells together. Do it.
Or some combination of all that, who knows? Leave your thoughts in the comments. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this coverage, and if you did, consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate it.
This was a good video.
And I'll see you in the next one.
I've never seen his stuff before. I know that I've seen him around, but I've actually never like seen a video from him. Plus I like his little anime. Like his little anime like thumbnails. But yes, I like this one. Being able to talk about stuff like this is important. Like, here's the thing. I don't like to pussyfoot around issues that people are like, oh, we can't talk about that. Who says? Last I checked, my mom's not around. And even if she was, like, I said what I said. Like, nobody likes to be silent. Likes to be silenced. Like, you know, you say what you want. And at the same time, stick with it. If you honestly, on God, believe in whatever we're talking about at that current time, then stick by it. Don't pussyfoot away and be like, oh, I actually didn't mean it that way. Yes, you did. That's why you wrote it that way. But at the same time, be ready for the consequences. And that's kind of how I see it with both sides. Again, at the end of the day, every single one of them is so fucking stupid. Because it is an art. It is a drawing. And there's so much drama for a drawing. Just thinking about that makes me laugh. Because, like, again, I am very new to, like, the streaming sphere. Social media. I never really had a social media. Never went on to Reddit, 4chan. Facebook I did once, I think, when I was a little bit younger. Never Twitter, never, like none of those shits. And I don't know if this has always been a thing. But I will say one thing, is that if this is something that people just be arguing about, it blows my fucking mind. Because again, I still remember when I was like in South Korea, struggling because of all the fucking snow, or in the desert because it was so bad and cultures were fucking changing. And if I had to like go and look back, be like, hey, what is everyone else doing? They're arguing about art pieces. Just night and day. Just night and fucking day. But yeah, overall, I really like this guy. I need to watch more videos with them. You know, I'm very happy that we've been doing more reaction stuff, because I've been meeting a lot more content creators. So very cool. But yeah, so hopefully whatever's going on here fucking settles down. If not, I'm just gonna keep making fun of you guys. Because at the end of the day, it's a fucking drawing, you stupid asses. Jesus.